Nonconformity. I model myself after being a nonconformist. I go against typically what everybody else is going towards. I'm just a natural contrarian. I don't like being assimilated in any particular group. I don't like conforming to what people think you should be. I am a person that says be your authentic and individual self. But there are times where I'm a hypocrite. And one example of a situation where I'm a hypocrite is my cell phone. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am an iPhone user. Like most of you are here in the States, because iPhone is the most, well, actually, it's not the most used phone. It's one of the most popular phones. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because iPhone just released a new version of their phone, which isn't really different from the last version of the phone. And everybody is talking about, are you going to get the new phone? Are you going to get the new phone? I have an iPhone 12 Pro Max. Still works, knock on wood. There is no reason for me to spend the $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 for a new phone. I'm just not going to do it. My phone is paid off. It's like when you got a car and you pay it off, you want to hold on to it. You don't want to go get a new car. But I know a lot of people that have went out to get the new phone. This is where I conform into what the masses are doing. And Apple's got us by the throat, because let us get one of those green bubble texts from an Android user. We are immediately disgusted. I have openly been on the fence with dating certain women, and I get that green bubble and I can't deal with it, and I decide not to date them. That's one of the dumbest freaking reasons not to date somebody, but I must admit it has happened. And why are we like that? It's because we've been tailored isn't the right word. We've been brainwashed into thinking that we need these Apple products because they sync so seamlessly into our lives, whether you have the iPhone, the iPad, the Mac, the Apple Watch. You could do everything. Everything is synchronized, right? Also, people have ready-made access to us at all times, which is a problem in and of itself. But I bring all this up in essence to talk about nonconformity, because where you will see people nonconforming are those Android users. My bestie is an Android user. I've been on her for over 10 years. Why don't you get an iPhone? I've been on my bestie for years to switch it up and be an iPhone user. And she is adamant she is not switching up. And let's think about this. All you iPhone users out there that know somebody who is rocking an Android, you know them to be some of the most stubborn people in the world of switching up. And they're right. They shouldn't switch up. Why should they conform to what everybody else is doing? Why? To make it easier for you to FaceTime them? There are other apps out there where you can FaceTime. Hell, I have a friend who has my phone number, who has an iPhone, that never texts me. She's always DMing me and Instagram. And when she calls me, she FaceTimes through Instagram. That's a feature that you could use, an Android user could use. Like, this idea that the people closest to us have to have an iPhone in order for us to communicate with them or talk to them is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. That's not the truth. An Android user, I know I have two close friends that use Androids. And I just found out another close friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a couple of years. She was up here to visit in the DC area last week, and I got to spend some time with her. And she's an Android user. Now, most of the Android users I know personally are female, but I know there are absolutely male Android users. I'm just speaking from personal experience. Stubborn as hell, not switching to iPhone. Defiant, even saying, I will never switch to iPhone. And when I think about it, the functionality of the iPhone and the Android is basically the same. Matter of fact, if you're a tech geek, the ability to sideload apps onto your Android devices is so much easier than Apple. It really, really is. So is Apple really better than Android? We've just been brainwashed into thinking that Apple is better than Android. And I am not going to switch because I am addicted to the iPhone and my Apple products. I like being able to be connected to my watch, even though I know that there are some watches that connect to Android phones and you can still have the same connectivity and features that an Apple Watch has with other smart watches. I know this to be the case. I just don't want to switch to Android. I used to have an Android. I was adamant back in the day of not switching to iPhone, of not being a conformist, but just made life easier for me to switch to an iPhone. But I respect those people that are Android users who are determined to never switch to the iPhone. You got to commend them. Instead of making fun of them and joking on them because they're different in the green bubble, we should be praising them because they're standing on their square. They are dead set in their principles and they're not wavering for that. Is it partly stubbornness? Yes, but also it's a part of not trying to be like everybody else. And this is where, I am a little hypocritical. I would say by and large, I am a nonconformist, but there's two instances of which I do conform to what the masses deem as popular. One of them is my iPhone. The other one are my Jordans. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.